So I'm at the Illinois Matchbox Collectors Club swap meet in Geneva, Illinois, about 35 miles away from downtown Chicago. Fellow collectors, we have a nice intimate show for you today, a little bit smaller than what we typically see out at the Diecast toy shows. What that means is we're going to be getting an up close and personal look at pretty much all of these Diecast models. What a great way to experience Matchbox. You'll really get to see just the incredible detail, the realism that this brand has been known for ever since they got started back in 1953 during their Lesney era. So sit back, relax, grab a beverage. We're going to be going table to table at this very nice show. My name is Contour Toy Cars. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I discuss die-cast toy cars from an art history perspective. And you know what? Let's just jump right into it with these Matchbox Gold Collection vehicles. Some gorgeous packaging. Even have the little gold coin there. And I believe Bob, the organizer, mentioned these are Tyco area around late 90s. Is that correct, Bob?
Right, and they made one for each store, so you had to trade around the country to get them.
So you can see here, limited edition, 1 of 5,000. And like Bob was saying earlier, they made it quite challenging for us collectors to hunt these down. Just plenty of beautiful details. I'm actually eyeing this Corvette Stingray. I'm going to think about that one for my own personal collection because that is really jumping out at me. Just look at the detail on that interior. Very, very impressive. And I really, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm very big on packaging as well. And this is quite a unique packaging design as well. Pretty much a little, what would you call that? A prism, a triangle, jewelry box? Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, so it's even got inside. It's a little, very cool. Very beautiful presentation. So we will pan down here to these Matchbox Superfast. Now the original Matchbox Superfast got started back in 1969. This was in response to the international success that was Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels was like nothing else on the die-cast market with their low friction wheels. These cars were such a hit that the likes of Matchbox, Dinky, Corgi, all these brands that were essentially the leaders of the industry had to pivot and change their entire manufacturing process. Such an insane story. So now these are some remakes. Superfast has kind of left and come back throughout the Matchbox history. And as you see, these ones are, I want to say, early 2000s, 2005, around that era. So, and these are really known for just incredible detail. So you know what, let's go nice up close and personal. And we are just going to take in the details of each and every one. Got this really nice city bus here. I'm a big bus fan if you've been following me for a while. Really cool wheels on that one as well. Nice little smart car. And then we get into a Opel Speedster. That's an El Camino, yep. Very nice kind of matte finish on there versus something like your glossy over here. So got differing paint schemes as well. Beautiful 57 Corvette. Very distinct silhouette as well. You can see where this roof line, just very, very specific arch that with the roof line with that section of the vehicle. Absolutely beautiful car. Got a taxi. Got a, what is this, Ford Sunliner. Got that classic kind of 50s style. The 50s was the jet age, right? There was a lot of inspiration behind space and aviation coming out of the World War II. And so a common design cue that you will find on the vehicles around 50s into 60s is, you know, elements that remind you of space. Tail fins, afterburners. I mean, that was just the styling. That was the influence that a lot of these auto manufacturers had. I was eyeing this one as well here. Really cute kind of city-going vehicle. You can totally picture this in a, you know, very packed in, very dense urban area going downtown Chicago. Mercedes-Benz A-Class, really, really cool. It has those 5-spoke slotted wheels. Got a nice Jag. And here's your price tag, by the way. Very good price for these. These are absolutely beautiful, so you can't beat the price, especially with them in the package still. And the perk of this packaging is actually that you get the box as well. So, and it's kind of best of both worlds. If you're a Hot Wheels collector as well, you obviously are very familiar with the blister packs, which is pretty much on any modern sort of big box mainline vehicle. But with these more modern Superfast, you get a little bit of both. So you get the box that you can then collect the vehicle, throw it in the box to store it. You have the, if you want to save the card, obviously you can save the card too, but it's nice that we get kind of best of both worlds with this particular packaging for the Superfast. Okay, a couple others here. Then we're going to get into way back in time, the Lesney era. Dodge Dart Phoenix, that's cool. Okay, so we're going to move into some very historic pieces here. We have some Matchbox models of yesteryear. Absolutely insane detail. Like I always say, you know, there's such a craving from the modern collector for high attention to detail. Now, I can't say these are the most glamorous vehicles in the 2020s, but Matchbox was doing this high attention to detail for a very, very long time. Sort of the OGs, the original Diecast brand, Diecast manufacturer that was packing all of this incredible detail into these Diecast vehicles. Beautiful, beautiful bus here, as well as a Model A Ford. And when you see these vehicles with the sort of separate fenders, you know, that's typically around your 20s, 30s, 40s. It's sort of that as they call it, pontoon style or ponton style, where the vehicle is kind of a little bit more enclosed, where the fenders are not separate. So anytime you see these separate fenders, you know you're approximately in that 20s, 30s, or 40s era of automotive design. $10 each is the price on these as well. Let's see what else we got. Little odds and ends here. And then your models of yesteryear. These are slightly larger than your typical 1/64 scale diecast. That's fun. Acorn storage, packing and shipping. How cool is that? And that's something too that these designers and these brands can have an absolute field day with regarding what to put on a commercial vehicle. You get all of this amazing real estate. Stick on whatever logos, companies, whether that's fictitious, whether that's a real company. In fact, a lot of Coca-Cola liveries can be found on diecast commercial vehicles. And in particular, you also, we'll see if we can find one later. Actually, well, there's the Coke right next door. Actually, that's a small world. But something else that the diecast brands can do then is just let's stick their own logo, right? Stick Matchbox on their logo. In fact, I have my pocket rider with me today. There you go. This is the International E-Star. And why not stick your own logo on there? So we have the Matchbox logo. And it's thanks to all that real estate that you really get to play around, right? Just have a total blast coming up with either a fictitious company or, in this case, like the Coca-Cola 5-pack. Hey, let's stick on Coca-Cola. Beautiful double-decker. These are a little bit of a mix. We have probably around 80s here. This classic sort of grid, sort of matrix look that's very synonymous with 80s, maybe a little bit into early 90s. We'll see some more as we move down here to a couple tables over. But very 80s style, a lot of Transformers packaging during that time is known to have these sort of grid matrix type packaging. These are a little bit more modern over here. But very, very cool stuff. So let's keep moving on here. And there are some snacks and refreshments provided as well. As you can see, have some hungry folks here. We're already down to just a little bit of the pizza left, which is great. So it's experiences like this that just are so much fun. You get to bond with fellow collectors. You get to see just incredible historic diecast vehicles. We have some 5-packs here from the Tyco era. Tyco era packaging is very easy to tell. It's just this really, really bright packaging, sort of a neon yellow with a neon orange. Tyco era was pretty short-lived, around 1992 to 1997, where then they were acquired by Mattel in 1997, and obviously Mattel still owns them up through the present day. So I can't say this is an era that I'm particularly fond of. I just don't have a lot of gravitation towards the models that were coming out of this era, but can obviously respect all of Matchbox history, right? It's still a lot of really impressive models here that, hey, if you're seeing anything that maybe catches your eye, by all means, pick that up for your personal collection and enjoy it for years to come. I mean, that is what it's about. Find those castings that make you happy, that bring you joy. Some more 5-packs here. I see this one around quite a bit, the World Cup Tour Bus 5-pack. Or not Tour Bus, but that is the bus. The entire 5-pack is the World Cup. And another Tyco Aero one here as well. Got that Plymouth Prowler, very 90s graphics as well. The deco's printed on the side. That's just a very, very specific style that you often see in the 1990s. So I'll give you a quick overview of that entire table, and let's keep rolling. Check out the snacks here. And by the way, we're going to be hopefully interviewing some of the collectors here as well. I'd love to kind of pick some of these guys' brains regarding just their collecting journey. I mean, some of these guys have been collecting for decades at this point, obviously way more than myself. I got started with my collecting journey back in 2019. Now, of course, like most people, when I was a kid, of course, played with Hot Wheels, Matchbox, you name it. But my sort of adult collection journey started back in 2019. But some of these guys are just an absolute wealth of knowledge regarding Matchbox history, all of the nooks and crannies of the timeline of Matchbox, all the way back during the Lesney era up through the present day, where we're starting to see a lot more EVs, obviously, new Matchbox moving parts packaging. A lot has obviously changed over the years, as anything would within any company. So we're looking at the Matchbox Premier Collection. These are limited, one of 25,000. And check the back here. Copyright date is 97, so we're looking around late 90s. And this particular series does have those a little bit more distinct wheels as well. A little bit more different than your sort of basic vehicles in the Matchbox mainline. So kind of scroll through each of these ones. Great lighting over at this table too. So we then get to arguably, at least I'm speaking anecdotally here, some of the best packaging you'll see. So vibrant, such a distinct, beautiful, artistic, almost looks like a painting is just slapped onto these boxes. Just absolutely incredible. Just look at these colors. As someone who appreciates art, who loves just graphic design, color choices, different colorways. I love admiring shoes, right? A bunch of Nikes, all these different colorways. I mean, it just does not get much better than this exquisite packaging that you will find with these Matchbox Superfast boxes. And if you are a little bit newer to collecting Matchbox, the reason they are called Matchbox is because the original designers, Rodney Lesney Smith and Jack Odell, they wanted to be able to fit a casting inside a real Matchbox. So that is why we have these vehicles called Matchbox. Got a trivia question going. So be mindful of that. But we will just sit and appreciate these gorgeous, gorgeous boxes. We also have a really cool gift pack. Whenever you see this packaging with the sort of metal look on the side, that's around 2010s. So we're getting a good coverage here of many different decades. We saw the 60s, 70s with the Lesney era. We saw those 80s, which we're going to get to some more as well. We got into late 90s, 2000s. Now we're even into the 2010s. So just a great representation here across all of the decades of Matchbox. So we'll move over here to a little bit of a mixture, some more modern pieces. That Mercedes AMG SL63 just came out, what was that, just last year, I believe? If not last year, 2 years ago already, can't recall. These are just $1 each. You cannot beat that. Obviously, you don't have to pay tax either when you're at a show like this, so you're getting a little bit of a discount at any of those $1 tables. Check out this price tag. We have the starter collection, Start Your Matchbox collection with one car from each series. And I'll have to ask the collector, and I don't remember which one is the rarest, but there is a reason for that higher price tag. We have $100 off on this one, $150 price tag. And here are all the vehicles. Check out that like rhinoceros. That's crazy. Okay, then we have some more super fast here. Again, just gorgeous, gorgeous box art.
Just carry them out. Come on, Saxon, I just want to see.
I do have that Formula One car. Team Matchbox is the official name for it. I'm going to give you a wide shot here. And some more over here as well. Oh, bless you.
Oh.
And then we do have a collector shopping, so we'll be mindful of that. But just a quick shot here of the Matchbox. Again, just typical 80s, that matrix, that grid style packaging. Con with this is you cannot really see the model, and they also don't put art of the vehicle on outside the box. You kind of just got to look at the actual labeling here. So you can see MB3 Hummer. What else we have? Peterbilt quarry truck, Camaro, Corvette Grand Sport. So
There you go.
some of these seasoned guys will obviously already know what it looks like just based off of their years of exposure to the brand.
You know what? Just in case.
But for a new collector,
awesome. Thank you.
you will have to open it up or else maybe do some research online if you've got your phone handy. But a lot of good stuff out of that era as well. And then a really unique series here, Matchbox Commando. All sort of military themed here. Give you a quick close up here. Really, really cool. I do not see these around very much, so we're going to get nice and close here. Show you all these vehicles.
I can flip it over. Yeah. Awesome. I want to be gentle and respectful for your cars. Thank you for letting me look.
That's cool. Gas. It just says, oh no, you're fine, you're fine. Can't beat shopping around for some incredible diecast cars.
Exactly. 75 cents.
75 cents,
$1
yeah, yeah, it's, I mean, this is where it's at, so.
Absolutely.
Cool, so we got a couple creative options thread organizers. Those hold 48 cars each. Great way if you are a vendor, right behind you, sir. Great way if you're a vendor coming out to these shows, just a very easy to show off 48 loose cars. So great price tag on those as well, just 75 cents.
Okay.
So, and as a collector as well, those cases, you really just can't beat them. Everything is clearly in sight, right? You don't have them stored in cardboard boxes where you can't see them. You can just pull out this case. You have access to everything. You can easily reference it. In my case, as a video creator, right, I can quickly grab something if I need it for a video, and it's just great. There are a couple other boxes and storage solutions out on the market that are pretty good, and it really just comes down to preference, right? I mean, space and budgeting, all of these are concerns for us collectors. We need to decide what's going to work best for us, right? And in the case of my collection, and as well as many other collectors' collections, these boxes are just a great way to have everything stored. And as mentioned, just very easy to be able to access everything and see it all very clearly. So you know what you have, right? Some more odds and ends over here. There's that new Matchbox moving parts packaging. We got Mr. Leo off camera. How are you, sir? Great to see you here. And shout out to the USPS. My father worked over 30 years for the post office. Got that really beautifully executed mail truck. And then we also get to a more historic series. These are the Super Kings, a little bit larger scale. Actually, quite a bit larger scale. This is a fun one too. It's a little coin bank. As you can see in the packaging, you're able to drop the coins in. Yeah, got a little safe sort of styling in the rear as well on the trailer. And again, just I'm obsessed with this vibrant artwork that you see on the side. And again, like we said earlier, plenty of real estate. They stuck the Matchbox logo, on the trailer. Save your money with me. Got the little fun little character there as well. So I love it. Just so cool. And there's your Coca-Cola as well. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Take that in for a second. Holy smokes. Incredible detail. Enjoy Coca-Cola. Classic logo. Check out this one as well here. Oops. Oh, this is heavy compared to that last one. This is probably like double the weight, just to give you a reference point here. Absolutely gorgeous piece. check out this tanker as well. That is beautiful. And if space is of no concern, by all means, collect these larger scales. You're generally going to find more detail, more variety that these designers are able to pack in. So if space is of no concern, or maybe you just want that centerpiece too, right? I mean, we have all these 164 sort of pocket-sized vehicles. If you want just that one gorgeous centerpiece, consider something like this. If you're a huge fan of the trucking industry or just commercial trucks in general, maybe you have a relative or a family member who is a fireman and you want to have that centerpiece that reminds you of them or what have you. It's something to consider, to have sort of that centerpiece to your collection, that holy grail, so to speak. So really, really cool. We got just a little bit left over here. Let's check this out. A couple of different loose vehicles. Some more here. Great beers of the world. This is definitely something you won't see in modern day Matchbox, but we have all of the logos. I feel like the theme of this video is these these incredible commercial vehicles, but that is what Matchbox is known for. They document, they immortalize realistic models, vehicles that you're going to find out on the road, the roads that you and I drive. Conversely, you have a brand like Hot Wheels. They were born out of the West Coast custom car culture scene. They are wild, they are creative. You'll still see them, probably just more at a custom car show. Matchbox is your brand if you want that realism, if you crave that realism, those everyday vehicles, those commercial trucks as you see here. Now, with that said, like most brands, we're not talking absolutes here, because as you can see, Matchbox can get pretty creative as well.
Hold it up to the light.
Oh, does it have a little...
It's got an alien in there. It does.
No, in the camera or
in the camera? You know what Roswell's famous for?
Oh yes, oh yes. Area 51 and alien abductions and
wacko capital of the world.
Well, and they milk it too. They got alien-themed hotels, signs everywhere, statues. I mean, they work it up for sure. So this is the Hero City line, often referred to as one of the most infamous lines that Matchbox has ever released. Kind of what I was just saying over here regarding realism. They decided, let's just go a full 180. Polar opposite branding, polar opposite design cues. They wanted to just go ahead and stick an alien on the back of a truck, or they often have a lot of quirky ones. There's a football, there's a hippo, there's a rhinoceros, there's a milk cow shaped commercial vehicle. I mean, they just went polar opposite of their branding, and as a result, I mean, the history speaks for itself. The line was discontinued just a year or two later. Sometimes it's those roots for a brand that really let it shine. And in this case, just a classic case study of if we go a little bit too outside what our demographic is used to, obviously you will see its demise and see essentially what is a fail regarding Matchbox history. For that reason, as I am big on the history, I actually kind of like the series, so I'm a little bit of an oddball. But what can I say? I admire all bits of Diecast history. Really cool superstars here. I love the checker flag pattern on there as well. Give you a close up of some of these.
When you're done, I have a little bit of trivia for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we're just wrapping up here.
It is a true story. I watched it. It's part of that show, the Toys That Made America.
Yes, okay.
And this is true.
Yeah.
Kid's daddy worked for Mattel. Kid's daddy bought him a whole bunch of Matchbox cars. The kid comes to Daddy one day and says, "Daddy, these aren't fast." And it was true, they aren't fast. You know where they got the idea? Mattel, at the time, made for little kids a toy violin.
Really?
One of them went to whoever CEO of Mattel and said, "Let's try these." They cut the strings in pieces. Those became Hot Wheels.
The axles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing was faster.
Oh yeah.
Nothing was faster.
Oh yeah.
Hot Wheels axles. But they came from little toy violins, metal strings.
Who would have thought? Beautiful double-decker bus as well.
About Mattel, and they released, I want to say it was 3 years ago, a version of this. They had a toy car in the 50s, and it looked like a 50s futuristic
Pure.
type of thing, and it was about this big, and it was $1.99. It was made of plastic, and it had a piece of metal wrapped down on it. It was kind of a chrome style piece. And it failed because it was too expensive. $1.99.
Yeah.
And as you're hearing, fellow collectors, there's just so much. You can really start to find all these little rabbit holes just when you think you kind of have a good grasp on the different eras, the different moments in time that this brand has had. You really start to realize how much you don't know. There's so many little nuggets of information. And we'll hopefully get to some interviews momentarily here. But if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Again, I'm Contour Toy Cars. I discuss die-cast toy cars from an art history perspective. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we'll tune you back in if we have some interviews. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Thank you so much. So I'm here with John. John is a very seasoned collector. He was actually just off camera showing me some of the pictures of his collection. Just very incredible variety. He's kind of similar to myself, into some of that more quirky stuff, right? There's such a craving for whatever you enjoy, whether that's realistic models that you see on the road or maybe some of that more quirky stuff. So, John, thank you for agreeing to be on camera. It's great to have a guest on the show today. So for starters, how about you tell us a little bit about how you got into the hobby and how long you've been collecting now?
Okay, so pleasure to be here. I have loved toy cars since I was a little kid. I like to joke that I was born with a Tootsie toy in my hand because that was the first toy car that I ever played with. Then Hot Wheels came along for me probably around 1966. And there's even a picture of me at Christmas with a homemade set with roads that my brother made and my Matchbox cars. And so I really loved those so much because of the realism. And of course, in '68, Hot Wheels came along, and the advertising was so powerful, and we just had to have them. And I did love those an awful lot. And I probably collected, well, when I was 13, I got rid of all my Hot Wheels and stuff because I thought, they're kids' toys. But when my son was born in 1991, probably around 94 is when I started getting back into it. So heavily collecting Hot Wheels, but also Matchbox, vintage, new. And it was a garage sale where I got 119 Hot Wheels for $300 in 3 cases that really kind of got it rolling, where I started acquiring German brands. One is called Siku. More Corgi toys. I always loved Corgi toys. Never had them as a kid because they were too expensive. But and so I've been collecting for 31 years as an adult, and I have a pretty large collection actually. It's kind of dangerous because I like everything, so I have to be really choosy. My rule is if you don't love it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
And don't collect because you think they're going to be worth a lot of money. You're not going to retire off of it. But, and I love automotive history. I love to photograph them. I just bought magazines in an estate sale, Old Motor Trend. So I strip all the auto ads, printed ads, and then I photograph my cars because I have a lot of the cars these ads feature. So, and I do have an Instagram, but it's very interesting to me, and really the history of toy cars in this country. Tootsie Toy was one of the earliest manufacturers of toy cars.
They're made right here in Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes, as Chicago historian Sherman Diletama says, everything dope in America comes from Chicago, and that's true. So Matchbox, though, was my first real love of toy cars. But yeah, and these shows and club meets are just a great way to meet other collectors, connect with people, and find things that you like. And I know a fair amount of the history of a lot of these automobiles. So yeah.
And you really touched on a lot of great points, John. What I want to first point out is you kind of explained that classic story of, like most of us, we're playing with them as kids. We are
Yes.
totally obsessed with them.
See, as far as Matchbox go, and these are the early, the ones from the late 50s, certainly the mid 60s. My favorite was a yellow 64 Chevy Impala, which was a taxi. And I loved to run it across the contours of my dad's Chevy wagon because the wheels would move up and down. And in the old days, the cars had, padded dashes back then too, but they had contours on them. It was just, I had such a fascination with it. And also building roads in the yard. I pick a section of the yard that was dirt, and I put bricks down for buildings and just drive the cars around. It was just a great way to play and imagine and have fun.
You hit the nail on the head. Just these toy cars really just let that imagination run wild, and that's the beauty of play, right? I mean, these first and foremost are toy cars. You have us crazy adult collectors who see so much beyond that and get so fascinated by the history, like you were saying, John, as well as just the manufacturing process, the distribution, there's so many facets in art and design that you'll find once you really get to know what this hobby is about.
Yeah. And then one other point, I know people love to criticize technology, and kids, all they want to do is play video games, and they don't want to be bothered with something as simple as a Hot Wheel. But in fact, adult collectors make up a huge portion of the hobby, but kids, they still love them. And my son, when he was 13, he said, "Oh, I don't want the Hot Wheels anymore. I want to put something else in my room." So he gave me his collection. But he's 33 now, and he collects again. And he FaceTimes me at Walmart and says, "Hey, do you need this car? And you were looking for that one. Did you want that one?" And he just gets stuff for me. And it's really very cool.
And that speaks to the community side of it as well. As a collector, you will find yourself not alone. There are so many other collectors, probably local to you as well, just waiting to have discussions with you, grab a coffee, chat with other collectors, learn new, specific pieces of information that you maybe didn't know about yet.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so incredible. So, John, I want to ask you, with over 30 years of collecting under your belt, what excites you right now? Because I'm sure you have a good grasp on majority of the pieces. What gets you excited in this hobby?
Everything, but I have to point this one out. So this is a Chevy ramp van. It's based on the Corvair, and it's just beautiful with the paint, the tampos.
Gorgeous, gorgeous paint on there.
Out of the package, the front and the back, it's so detailed. For $5, you can't beat it. But JDM, Japanese domestic market automobiles are very popular. There's just so many choices, so many things that they're doing.
And something that I'm learning too is, there's obviously a lot of new releases that come out every single year, but you'll sometimes come across an old or a vintage piece that you just had no idea existed. Now, sure enough, you're down a new rabbit hole. You're trying to explore, you're perusing eBay, you're out at these shows. I mean, so much variety, not only the new releases, but also kind of stepping back in time and finding those older pieces as well.
Yeah.
Now, a last question for you, John. Any holy grails, anything you currently have in your collection worth noting, or anything that you're still trying to track down that you just haven't found yet?
Well, there's a Matchbox Superfast. It's a transition model.
Transitional,
of,
okay.
The Pontiac Grand Prix from 1965. And it's a Superfast, but it's purple. And they're very expensive, probably $150, $200 with the box. Yeah, that would probably be the one.
And you do have those in your collection, right? I think you
Not-
mentioned two.
Well, not that specific
Okay.
one. I have an older one.
Gotcha.
From 1962.
Okay.
And it's also purple. But the super fast of the 1965 model is the one that's really valuable.
Sure.
So yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Really.
You're just always hunting. It's very stimulating as well. You're constantly on the lookout. You're learning new stuff. You're checking back at your Walmart's, Target, seeing what else is out there currently, and we can just, as I've said a million times on this channel, just have an absolute field day. So, John, thank you so much. Anything else? You can go ahead and shout out your Instagram as well while we have you on here.
So my Instagram is John's Toys,
John's Toys,
plural, but it's an underscore in between John's and Toys.
John's_toys on
Yes.
Instagram.
And then just a lot of photographs, videos, a lot of crazy stuff that I like to do. And it's more than just trying to collect everything you can. You have to display it and enjoy it.
Oh yes.
For it to be rewarding.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
John, thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you so
you're
much for your
welcome.
time, and we'll try to get some other people. And
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you, and we'll tune back in
So
soon.
glad to meet you. Take care, everybody.
Alrighty.